hello, beautiful people. I am Chastity Wright, CEO and founder of nonprofit organization Beautiful People Rise Up, Inc. And I am so happy tonight for the show that is going to come forth. We have some amazing guests, and we're going to welcome them in a few minutes to Beautiful People Connect. And we are so focused on making the world a better place and showcasing people who want to make a difference and who are making a difference in their community. Today's topic is Hope for 2021. Since January, we've been doing a series on Hope for 2021, and we've had different topics along the way. And this month, we're focusing on people who love what they do. So once again, this is Hope for 2021, loving what you do. It is such a beautiful thing to do what you love to do unapologetically. But before we go any further, it is my pleasure and honor to turn your attention to Inspire Me, Yama.
Wow, thank you so much, Chastity. Thank you so much. We at Beautiful People Connect would like to thank each of you so much for being here with us. We are truly honored and excited to have you with us here tonight. Listen, when we open our segments, we always want to set the tone and charge the atmosphere with the truthfulness of who you really are. As our guest, it is an honor for us to celebrate the greatness we know that is within you. What we have learned is knowing who we are is a game changer. And speaking who we are puts the atmosphere and the elements on notice of our awareness. Therefore, celebration is the next beautiful experience that we should expect to encounter. Please allow us to celebrate you tonight through the facts that we know as truth about who you really are. Because fact is, and truth is, you are amazing. You are spectacular. You are unstoppable. You are a winner on every level. You are a go-getter. You are victorious. The world, it's a better place because you are here. You are a lion. In you, there is nothing missing and there is nothing lacking. You are remarkable. Because you are here, doors are opening that no man can close. You embrace your greatness. You are a force to be reckoned with. You are whole and complete all by yourself. You know whose you are and you stand firm on that fact. You are strong. You are mighty. You are a miracle walking. Success, it's your forever story. My. You move in hope. You are victorious in every goal you aim to complete. You are healed from any sickness that tries to overtake you. You have full clarity of mind. You have joy unspeakable. You are accepted. You eradicate any thoughts that attempt to pull you down and replace them with positive words of truth and boldness. You are connected to the right people at the right time for the right results. Greatness runs through your veins and winning is in your DNA. You are celebrated. In this house, you are celebrated. My dear king, my dear queen, let it be echoed near and far, and let no mistakes be made in the deliverance. You are celebrated. I just want each and every one of you to know tonight, you are celebrated. And every word that was spoken tonight, let every ear that heard it repeat it in the correct form, that you are celebrated and greatness is within you. There is no shadow of doubt that you move in greatness. So I celebrate everything about you tonight. We turn it back over to our founder, Chastity Wright. We are grateful to have you here tonight. I am so excited. I am super excited. I can barely sit in my seat with our guest tonight. I am honored. I am excited, and we are glad to have you here to share in the experience with us tonight because you are in for a super great ride tonight. Chastity, I'm going to turn it back over to you.
Awesome. What a powerful word, Yama. Greatness runs through your veins. Just say it again with me. Greatness runs
through your veins.
And you can even change it to greatness runs through my veins. Own
Nice.
it, own it, own it. You have to
Mhm.
own these affirmations. Then they become more believable once they're ingrained in you. You need to celebrate yourself. As she said, you are celebrated. We celebrate people. That's why we created this show, Beautiful People Connect, because we want to celebrate people in the community who are positive and they're doing things to connect with other people, to help them to be better, to help them to be great. You can be great alone, but if you don't share that wealth with anybody, what does it matter? If you carry it only within yourself, if you have a kind word, don't be afraid to speak it. Compliment people, compliment yourself. Sometimes people can't give good words to other people because they don't have good words to say about themselves. So find some words to say about yourself, empower yourself, encourage yourself, and make sure you know and begin to believe that you are celebrated. You have to know it. Then you can believe it. You have to believe it so you can know it. It's just this duality. You have to affirm those things about yourself. So Yama, thank you so much for that opening charge. I'd like to give a brief about Beautiful People Rise Up Inc. We may have some new viewers and they may not know who Beautiful People Rise Up is. So I want to give you a little history. Beautiful People Rise Up Inc. was inspired by the new single, Beautiful People by me, recording artist Chastity through Creator Entertainment. Although Beautiful People Rise Up Inc. is a new nonprofit organization, our team has worked for over 40 years combined, serving others using our gifts, talents, and abilities and personal resources to impact individuals, communities, and corporate businesses. Our mission is simply to create innovative, positive content and experiences through our services, productions, events, entertainment, and media that elevates and motivates people to become productive assets to their local, national, and global communities. Our vision is to create a beautiful world where diverse people rise up together and share their unique gifts, talents, and influence to make the world a better place. Our motto is We Honor Humanity. Our tagline, Aim Higher, Action, Inspiration, Motivation Higher. Our slogan is Connect, Charge, and let's rise up to light the world together. I'm going to say that one more time. Our slogan is Connect, Charge, and let's rise up to light the world together. It is enough room for everyone to shine. Everyone has something great. Don't walk this journey alone and try to do it all by yourself. It's enough room, like I said, for everyone to shine and for everyone to play their part in making the world a better place. And I'm going to turn it over to Yama.
Yes, thank you, Chastity. Our first guest is a multi-talented man who has a heart of music and the community. He is a producer, writer, singer, and songwriter, just to name a few of his talents. It is my pleasure and honor to welcome Cameron Wade. Cameron, welcome to Beautiful People Connect. How are you today?
I'm doing great, Yama, and that was a great spiritual vitamin that you kicked the show off with tonight.
Thank you.
I'm very inspired already.
Thank you, Cameron. Thank you. I'm inspired by you as well. Thank you so much.
Welcome, welcome, Cameron. We're so happy to have you here today.
Thank you, Chastity.
You know what? It's just like I love talking to beautiful people. This man has so many gifts that we had to decide what we were going to talk about first. When a person has so many talents, the interview can go in so many directions. So I'm going to start with at what point in your life, Cameron, did you know that you love the arts and creativity?
Oh, from a very young age, I was one of those kids that was in the mirror with the screwdriver and something wrapped around my head, pretending to be an artist and singing. But, music was always in our lives with my brothers and sisters and friends. I'm originally from New York. So we just had a great time with music and a great time, with our families. Life has always been good.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. Thank you for that. Listen, let's go back just a little. At 15, you started a band named The Meditations.
Right.
What was your ultimate desire when you started this band?
Well, Yama, we were just kids, and my best friend at that time, and he's still a great friend, Larry Mays. We lived on Long Island together, and we wanted to start a band. We had never been in a band. We didn't know what to expect. We didn't know what it was going to feel like getting up on a stage. But once we got a taste of it, there was no turning back. We wanted to be cool in the gang. We wanted to be Parliament Funkadelic. We wanted to be James Brown. You know, I was dancing and singing. So it's just something that I've always loved to do.
Awesome. Awesome.
And I might add that at the same time, I had like a dual love for communications as
Okay.
well. You know,
Okay.
so those two things have always been with me all my life.
Okay, great. Well, I love reading that about you, and also some other things as well. In 1996, you released your first album entitled Train of Thoughts, A Train of Thought. Can you tell me a little bit about how you felt? Because I know that it takes a lot in going into completing an album. How you felt once you completed your first album?
I felt great. And Yama, what I realized during that project was that it not only took money, because back then, you know, it costs a lot more than it does now to produce an album. And what I had to do was not just be focused as far as the music was concerned. I was at the point where, you know, if I thought about going out on a Saturday night and spending $10, I would think, you know what, that's another hour in the studio that I could be putting towards this album. So I was laser focused that year, and I'd even bought a new house in Atlanta, but I was laser focused on my music, and I had the joy of celebrating, moving into my house, and having my listening party for my album on the same night.
Oh, wow. Awesome.
Wow. Well, you are also a songwriter, of course.
Right.
Do you have any new songs or music projects coming out anytime in the near future?
Well, Rick Hodge has been my collaborator for the last few years, and we have our project going on right now is a learning project. We decided that the music business has changed, as most of you know. You know, there was a time where you could sell CDs out of your car and make money that way, but those days are over, you know, with streaming and everything. So we've decided we're going to study on how to present our music to music supervisors for TV and film. And we're halfway through a course right now, and we're hoping that by the fall, we're gonna hear our music on TV shows and film, maybe some commercials, but just in a different direction, you know, than what we're used to. And we're very excited about it.
Awesome. Awesome.
Awesome. Awesome. Camology is your awesome newsletter that I truly enjoyed. I had a chance to read the message within the music. You know, a couple of those have some subtitles, and I looked over a few of those, which awesome. What is the overall focus of your newsletter, and how do you choose the people for it?
Well, the idea came about because, you know, I feel like every artist wants to be unique in what they're doing. So my thing in music is lyrics, and not just writing lyrics, but writing lyrics that have a message. So every song, especially like my last album, Freedom of Expression, every song on that album has a message. Songs like Behind the Mask, which ironically came at the same time that the pandemic came. But the idea of the newsletter is just to talk about some of the songs I wrote and to talk about what they mean. And then I felt like at the same time, I don't want to just focus on me, because I meet so many people that are out here doing positive things, doing great things, including my 91-year-old mother, who decided at 90 years old that she was going to sit and do her memoirs. So right now, I have a series called Streams of Eula, where my mother, Eula Wade, I'm presenting different stories that she has taken the time and just started writing at the age of 90, you know, her biography. So I'm excited about that. And then I'll meet somebody, like recently in the last issue, I talked to a young lady who I had worked with years ago, hadn't seen her in a while, and found out that she's getting ready to climb Mount Kilimanjaro in Africa. So we dedicated the last issue to her, and she's preparing to make that climb, that dangerous climb. And then in our June issue, we're going to reconnect with her and then find out how everything turned out for her.
Wow, awesome.
Wow, wow, awesome. So, Cameron, what was your inspiration behind creating Cameron Wade's Lemonade?
Well, like I was saying, we had put out Freedom of Expression, which is an album, again, that just deals with, you know, I never like to be tied down to a genre. So Freedom of Expression has reggae, it has soul music, it's got jazzy stuff, it's got ballads. And we were very excited about performing the songs on that album last year. And me and Rick went around, you know, visiting club owners and trying to get something together so we could do our show. And then it started to become evident that there weren't going to be any shows in 2020. And, you know, once we realized that, you know, I started saying, man, what can I do? And I thought about the saying, when life gives you lemons, you make lemonade. So I started thinking, well, who were the lemons in my life? My wife, my daughter, even my granddaughter, and all this music that I've been writing for the last few decades. So I decided to turn my living room into a TV studio, and we started doing a thing where I would do 2 songs on every show, and then in the middle we'd have a guest, once again bringing some of the people that I've met that are doing great things and putting them in the middle of that show. So it's been an eye-opener for me just to go in a different direction. And I'm just glad that I did, because I learned a lot. And we just finished season 1. And hopefully in the fall, we're going to come back with season 2 and upgrade what we've been doing and make it even better.
Awesome, awesome. So, Cameron, I had the opportunity to participate in one of your productions for the Live campaign, which was featured in a video on Cameron Wade's Lemonade and your newsletter, Chemology. Can you share with the audience the focus and significance of the campaign and how it impacted your life?
Well, you know, Chastity, I always say the song is the thing. Everything begins, for me, with a song. And Rick gave me a track about 1.5 years ago. And when I hear his music, it speaks to me. And that's the way I write the lyrics. When I heard a particular track, I thought about suicide. That's what the music was saying to me. And I sat down and wrote a song called 6 Feet Under. And at the time, we just kind of felt like maybe this might be too dark for people, you know, too depressing for people. But ironically, what happened was last year in 2020, a friend of mine that I had worked with in the Postal Service took her own life. And it was a devastating thing. And right a couple of weeks before she passed away, we had a conversation. And she just called me out of the blue because I was retired, she was retired, she had grandkids. and so did I. And that was our conversation, just talking about our grandkids and how much we love them. And I didn't detect anything, any kind of depression or anything wrong. So when I found out what happened, I was just devastated. And I said, you know what? With that story and all the stories of the people that are just going through it in a year of a pandemic, I said, I'm going to put this song on my show. And that's when I decided to put the song there. We also had a psychologist come on and talk about suicide. And then I had friends and people that I knew, like yourself, and I asked them, would you please just take a photo, wear a t-shirt, make a sign, do something that just says the word live. So it turned out pretty good.
Awesome. Thank you so much. And I really appreciate you even thinking of me to do it. And I'm going to try to share my screen here to see if I can connect the newsletter. And while I'm doing that, Cameron, can you please share with our audience how to look up the video, Cameron Wade's Lemonade, because I actually had the opportunity to watch that segment that you just mentioned. And it's definitely worth watching. So how can our audience connect with you and follow you as you continue to do what you love to do?
All you have to do is go to YouTube and just search Cameron Wade's Lemonade. I made it a point. I already had a channel called Cameron Wade with my music, but I wanted there to be no confusion between my music channel and my video channel. So if you go to Cameron Wade's Lemonade, it'll take you right to the video channel and you'll be able to see all 5 episodes that we shot this year.
Awesome. And here is Cameron Wade's newsletter.
Right, Camology.
So are you able to see it?
Yep.
Okay, and so if you want to go through and point a couple things out, and you actually already said it, but you know, to let the audience know about the Live campaign.
Right, and you know, like I was saying, I had a lot of people that I knew that I asked to make a sign, wear a shirt. You know, I even have my little granddaughter there on the end, and she's always anxious to participate in what I do. And, you know, like I was saying before, the newsletter just talks about what I'm doing. In that same episode, I did a song with Cam Showers, a ballad called a love ballad that's on the album, and we performed that. And then, like I was saying, I have a series that I'm doing with my mother called Streams of Eula. And we're up to part 5, I believe. So every month I just try to do something, interesting people, interesting topics, and talking about the messages that are in my music.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for joining Beautiful People Connect. We really enjoyed you and appreciate you and love what you're doing for the community. Everyone, please go out and check out Cameron Wade. It is worth your time. I enjoy listening to his music and looking at his art and his creativity. There are so many beautiful people out here doing things. So Cameron is one of them. And so we just celebrate you, Cameron. We hope that you continue to impact the community, share your music, share your gift, and never stop, because people need your ideas, your music. I mean, I know you talked about suicide being something dark. It is dark, but it exists. Mm-hmm. And you were bold enough to do the song and put it out to help someone to maybe reconsider taking their life. You know, just, hey, you're valuable. You mean something. Come on, live. People are cheering for you. You still have something to contribute to the world. So I really salute you for taking on that topic and writing a song about it. And I saw the video. Everyone is worth watching. So check out Cameron Way's Lemonade, check out Chemology. I showed you an example. That was his edition for the month of April. So you said you have 6 editions. Is that what you have so far?
Well, no, I said we have the 5 episodes of Cameron Way's Lemonade, and then Camology has already gone over a year. Okay. So I've got like 12 or 13 issues. And if you go to CameronWay.com/news, that takes you straight to all the Camology issues.
Awesome.
And then there's a lot of other stuff on my website as well, CameronWay.com.
Awesome.
And thanks so much for inviting me, Chastity. Your positivity is just great, and what you and Yama are doing is just wonderful.
Well, thank you so much, and we hope to see you again. And thank you for coming on to Beautiful People Connect.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Take care.
You too.
You too.
So we're going to keep the show moving. We have another awesome guest. But before we bring our next guest out, we would like to thank everyone, all the people who gave donations to Beautiful People Rise Up, Inc. If you like our content, services, and mission, we invite you to learn more about us at www.beautifulpeopleriseup.org. If you would like to partner with us to help us to make the world a better place, you can make donations on our website on the homepage. Once again, that is www.beautifulpeopleriseup.org. Remember that our events, outreach, and our empowerment activities and events are made possible by donations, whether people are donating their time, donating their money. And we also thank the people who have prayed for us, who are lifting us up, and who are believing with us to go to the next level and connect with more people. So we definitely thank you for your support. And we want to make sure that you know that no amount is too small. Sometimes people think, man, I have to give this certain amount. You know, if 1,000 people gave $5, that's $5,000. So it doesn't matter how much you give. If you want to give, just do what is in your heart and what you're led to give. So we're going to move on to our next guest here. Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you, our next guest lights up every room he walks in. When you meet this guy, you can feel the positive energy jumping off him in full force. Like, I'm getting energy right now, just knowing that this guy is about to come on to Beautiful People Connect. It's so strong that it will slap the negative energy right off of you if you dare to bring it in his presence. Negative energy has no chance in the presence of this man. You are definitely going to feel good vibes in his presence. You will be uplifted and motivated. If you listen closely, you can get some golden nuggets that will transform your life. If you haven't heard of him, I guarantee after today, you will never forget him. I'm talking about the one and only Mike Howard, one of the nation's top motivational speakers. Mike Howard, welcome to Beautiful People Connect. How are you?
I am doing absolutely magnificent. And I just want to thank you, Chastity. I want to thank you and Yama. I want to thank you for this platform, this opportunity. Man, look, I'm fired up over here. Beautiful people doing beautiful things.
Awesome.
Awesome. We are excited to have you. Oh my goodness, Mike. Let me tell you, we are so excited to have you here with us. Reading about you and everything charged me up as well. So happy to have you here with us. I'm going to go into the questions, and I'm excited to hear you speak. And yes, Chastity knows. I was like, wow, we are so excited to have you here. So thank you. How did you go from being a computer programmer with IBM and working with the NASA Space Shuttle program to becoming one of the top motivational speakers in the country?
Well, you know, it's funny because there is a connection because with the Space Shuttle program as a programmer, I was programming computers. But as a speaker, I'm programming people and organizations for success. So there is a correlation. Now, it's a funny thing that happens. When that space shuttle takes off, it takes off, and in order for that shuttle to go into space, it had to break away from the gravitational pull of the Earth. Now, that's an analogy in that. In order for us to be extraordinary, something has to happen. We have to break away from the gravitational pull of average thinking, of ordinary thinking, if we are going to be extraordinary. Let me tell you what's going on. See, we don't realize, but we're being pulled by that average thinking. We're being pulled by those average thoughts. Sometimes it's the couch, it's the sofa, it's the TV that's pulling us. So I encourage people to break away from that gravitational pull of that negative thinking, that common thinking, that average thinking, if you want to be extraordinary.
Oh my goodness.
Wow. Not, see, you know, we could go home right now with that one thing. That one thing, that's it. That one thing. So, Mike, what was it a person or an experience that inspired you to change your profession in order to do what you love to do? If it was a person, who was it? If it was an experience, what was it?
Wow, that's a great question. And I talk about this in my book. I had just went to work for IBM and I transferred back to Atlanta, and I met a guy by the name of Steven Strother. And working for IBM, I always had different businesses on the side. So he came over one day and we were talking about starting a business, investing in real estate. And he was so motivated. I said, man, what's the secret? And he said, well, I wake up every morning, I listen to motivational tapes. I said, what's a motivational tape? And see, I'm dating myself. I said a motivational tape. I'm talking about cassette, So I said, what's that? He said, you ever heard of this motivational speaker named Les Brown? I said, no, who is he? He said, well, I tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to make a duplicate tape and I'm going to bring it to you. He brought me that tape, that one audio cassette tape. And that one tape, it was called Keys to Self-Motivation with Les Brown. That one tape changed my life forever.
Wow.
And let me tell you what happened, Chastity. When he gave it to me, first of all, we procrastinated. And I was a procrastinator. Procrastination is the assassination of motivation. So that tape sat in my car for about 2 months before I finally decided to listen to it. And when I did, I began to apply those principles while working at IBM. I began to get raises, promotions, recognitions. And then what happened, people at IBM found out I was speaking because I would go to career day and I would speak. My good friend Ron Fry invited me to come out and speak, and I would go. And I said I was going to go for a half day, but I ended up taking a full day. And then it just blew, and it just blew up, and they started to invite me to speak within IBM.
Wow.
So I eventually worked myself out of a job.
That's good. He worked himself out of a job. That is a great thing. We're working ourselves out of jobs.
Working out. Exactly. Awesome. That is.
Well, let me just share this with you. There's a quote that I live by. And it says this: what you do from 9 to 5 is to survive. What you do after 5 is to thrive and get ahead. So I was working 9 to 5 at IBM. But when I got off work, what I did is that I would come in, I would begin to work on my speaking. I would begin to work on my articulation, my communication skills, because the speaker that you hear now was not the speaker back then. I had to put the work in. So from 9 to 5, I worked with IBM. But after 5, I worked on myself. And when I got the opportunity to leave IBM to pursue my dream as a speaker, I was living at that time in a 1-bedroom apartment. And I remember, I said, I've got to have an office, but I didn't want to go get an office space. So what I did, I had 1 bedroom. I said, well, I'm not going to put a computer. I didn't want to put it in my bedroom. I didn't want to put it in my dining room. I had a big walk-in closet in my bedroom. I took all the clothes out. I took all the shelves out. In that closet, I had a desk. I had a separate phone put in. I had a bookshelf. I had another computer table. I put all that in a closet. My first office was in the closet of Pace's Vineyards apartment.
Wow. Yes.
Wow.
That's a motivation for you. You know, you make it work. He had a space and he decided that, hey, you know what? My dream is much more important than me housing these clothes and these shoes in here. I'm gonna have to put that somewhere else, but I'm going to work on me. And I can relate to that because a lot of my musical projects, I recorded myself in my home studio in the closet. It's hot in that closet. It's
it is
in that closet. And when you're recording, and my brother Shamari can attest to this. I don't know if he's watching right now, but when I tell you it is hot fire. So don't even let two people in our closet booth. You know, it was torture. And then we couldn't put the AC on because then you can hear it. My microphone is so sensitive. It can pick up noise from outside. I mean, it can pick up everything. So the AC, you would hear it whistling. So we suffered through my first album, which will be coming out soon. But I know what you mean, that closet, you know, hey, people, you heard what he just said. Turn your closet into an office if you need to.
Yes, and I know you feel me because when you said that, and look, there are no vents in the closet. I was sweating. I'm like, oh, hello, this is Mike Howard. Yes, you've reached the office of MB Howard. And I'm sweating.
So you know I'm telling the truth. You only know that if you really went through that. And when I tell you that closet is no joke, it is hot as in there. It is hot.
Yes, it is. But you know, we got to do what we got to do to get to the point where we want to go. This is a part of the process. You know, if you want to be great, you got to fall in love with the process to become great. Now, when I say that, you said they say, Mike, what's the process? The process, getting up early, going to bed late, the process, getting knocked down and getting back up, the process. Sometimes we win and sometimes we learn. The difference in learning and losing is your attitude. The process. We got to fall in love with that process. You know, getting back up, bouncing back, creativity, surrounding yourself with collaborative relationships that will help to empower you to go to that next level. That's the process.
Wow.
Wow. Amazing. I mean, amazing. I could just probably listen to you all day. Just my question's the way. Just listen to you all day. Just, you know, but stay focused. Thank you for that. Staying motivated in difficult times. Truly, it, you know, for me, that has been some things that I've had to face. And I did see that it is one of the topics that you speak about, that you cover. What is one of the techniques that you use to stay motivated during difficult times?
You know, we talked about the programming. Okay?
Yes.
The only difference between where you are today and where you will be tomorrow is two things. It's the information that you learn and the people that you meet. So I must constantly override all of this negativity, okay? Because we're being inundated with negativity and we don't even realize. You know, like right now, you feel good. You probably heard more positive thoughts coming to you during this interview than you've heard all day. Because when you cut on the news, the economy is bad. There have been X number of killings in Atlanta. The COVID is doing this, that. All this is being inundated. So you have to be intentional when it comes to overriding what's coming in. See, your input will determine your output, and your input will determine your income. See, what you recognize, you energize. What you focus on the longest becomes the strongest. Let me say that again. See, somebody didn't hear that. What you recognize, you energize. What you focus on the longest becomes the strongest. So I intentionally focus on the things that I have going for me. You see, I don't see the obstacle, I see the opportunity. I don't see the problem, I see the possibilities. See, change the way you look at things, and the things that you look at will change. So I must focus on what I have. See, we have more going for us than we think. Think about this, but it's on automatic that we think about the negative. You go, say if your boss is giving you a performance review, and you go in the office and he say, well, Yama, I tell you, you've done some great things here. Oh man, he reads out the list. You've done this, you've done that. You know, 9 things you did well. And then he gets to number 10. But by the way, this one thing, you know, we really need to work on that. Now, when you walk out of there, you're not gonna focus on it. Man, that one thing, my boss, I tell you, you know, that one thing is gonna resonate. So we must be intentional during these difficult times, okay, as to how we can override, because you must constantly feed your mind. See, I use this little thing here. This is a smartphone, and it's only smart if you know how to use it in a smart way. I use this to reprogram myself. I use it to listen to affirmations. I fall asleep listening to positive affirmations. See, years ago, I had to buy all of these, dating myself, cassettes, CDs from a company called Nightingale Conant, motivation, leadership, team building, sales, marketing. But right now, you can access that with this phone. So instead of being entertained, my phone is not for entertainment. My phone is for education and income building. Hello, education and income building. I can learn. This is how I learned how to write my book. This is how I learned how to become a better communicator. This is how I learned how to market my business more successfully. This is how I learned it right here.
Awesome.
And let me give you one more thing, okay? In order to overcome and override all the negativity, you got to surround yourself with a team. Okay, let me ask you this, and I ask the audience, you got to ask yourself, who's on your team? Okay, who's on your team? You got to have the right people on your team. You see, I know you grew up with Pookie, Little Man, cousin Rodney, and all of them, but they I'm not saying just discard them, but see, all they talking about, hey dog, you know, man, I'm trying to win this lottery. Hey dog, go wait on that stimulus check. Look, I tell people, I just keep real. I say, if it just takes $600 or $1,400 to stimulate you, your dream's not big enough. Okay, your dream is not big enough. You need to start to dream big. And then if you get to $1,400, you need to say, how can I take this $1,400, invest it, start a business to turn that $1,400 into $14,000, to turn that $14,000 into $140,000. See, we got to think differently. When you think differently, you get different results. So I realized that we're born in the greatest country in the world, the United States of America. Let me tell you, we got some problems. Oh yeah, there's some problems up in here. But there are also some opportunities. But you cannot be distracted by the weapons of mass distractions. See, there's some forces out here, they want to get you distracted. They want you to focus on the problem because you'll get more of the problem. People make money off you when you focus on the problem, but I decided to focus on the solutions, because in life, it's not the problem staters who get paid, it's the problem solvers.
Wow.
Thanks.
Wow. That was
So
awesome.
true.
Very awesome.
That was awesome. Very awesome.
You shutting it down, Mike. I told them,
Hey.
if they did not know you, they will never forget you after today. Mike, can you tell our audience about your weekly radio segment, Attitude Mondays, and what motivated you to start it?
Well, one of the things that, and we do it every Monday, 8:45 p.m. to 9 o'clock p.m. every Monday. And I wanted to start that because I needed to give people a boost on Monday, just to kick off the week, to get a different mindset, and say, thank God it's Monday, instead of just thank God it's Friday. Every day I got, I'm thankful. I'm like, this is an opportunity. Today, think about that. Today, I have an opportunity to be great. Today, I have the opportunity to love. Today, I have the opportunity to create. Today, I have the opportunity to increase my income. Today, doesn't matter whether it's a Monday or a Friday. It's a day that you have in order to do that. So that's why I started that show. And I also do another show on Monday nights. No, I'm sorry, Monday mornings out of Pensacola, Florida. And it's called Attitude Mondays. And that's been going on for 7 years. It's out of Pensacola, Florida. And it's amazing. Let me tell you, Chastity, my degree is in computer science and mathematics. When I started this journey, I was not a communicator. But I told someone, one day I'm going to be a speaker. One day I'm going to have my own radio segment. And I was invited on a show, the Hill in the Morning show out of Pensacola, Florida. And Bob Hill interviewed me about my book, Success Begins Within. And after the interview, he asked me, he said, would you be interested in coming on every Monday? I said, yes, I've been waiting on you. And we've been doing it for 7 or 8 years. But let me tell you how I prepared for that, okay? I prepared for that moment by getting in the mirror in the bathroom and working on myself. See, nobody can stop you from being great. Nobody can stop me from getting in the mirror at 5 in the morning. Nobody can stop me from getting in the mirror at 2 in the morning, working on my communication skills. This is your motivational moment with Mike Howard, giving you the inspiration and motivation needed to create a positive transformation. Today's message: you don't have to be great to get started, but you got to get started if you want to be great. Oh, I was working on my stuff by myself with a brush in my hand, because I knew one day I would have the opportunity if I prepared. Didn't know where it was gonna come, didn't know what time, but one thing I knew, when it came knocking, I was gonna be there. You see, let me tell you, opportunity many times, it stands by quietly, waiting to see if we recognize it. It's there. And that's why I gotta commend you guys. Beautiful People Connect. You're taking this opportunity. You have a platform where you can impact the world. I already know. I was sitting back and I'm listening to Cameron, and I'm like, the streams of Eula, and I'm like, wow. And I'm listening, I'm like, man, this brother here, I mean, he's writing messages with the music. See, man, if I could sing, I'd be a bad brother, Cameron. I can't sing, but every day and then sitting back over the years, I get the shit. One day I'm gonna get it, okay? But we all have gifts. But you are going to take this to another level. You are going to impact lives. And I just want to commend you for what you're doing.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Awesome. Though I believe you've already kind of answered this question, but just to reiterate, I want to, and just to remind our audience, or maybe somebody just came in and maybe have missed it, or just tuned in and maybe have missed it. You authored a book, From Ordinary to Extraordinary. Success Begins Within. What advice would you give someone to help them to move their greatness from the inside to the outside so they can experience an extraordinary life?
Yes, I love it. First of all, in the basics, you got to change your input. You have to change your internal program. You have to create a paradigm shift. I do a seminar called The Response Factor. The Response Factor. They say up to 95% of your success is based on your explanatory style, how you explain things, how you interpret things, how you respond to things when things happen to you. You see, one person can fail a test and say, oh, it's the teacher's fault. They don't like me. I don't like math anyway. The other person can fail the test and say, look, let me go get a study group. Let me go back and see what is it that I did well on? What can I learn from? Who can I get help from? Let me go to YouTube and get some help. You see, it's all about how you respond. One person says, sometimes I win and sometimes I lose. The other person says, sometimes I win and sometimes I learn. One person says success comes to those that wait. The other person says in my book that I have, success comes to those that create. You're not going to get anything when you create. You got to create. Extraordinary people will create more opportunities than they find. You're not going to find opportunity. You got to create it. That's why I love this platform, Beautiful People Connect. You have created a platform where you're connecting, where you're building people, beautiful people doing beautiful things. You created that. You didn't wait around saying, well, one day I'm going to wait till everything get back normal. And one day I'm going to do it. I'm going to get a room down at the Marriott Marquise. And we're going to do this. Now, you see, you're doing it right now. Do it now. 2 words I tell people: action required. You can talk about it, but action required.
Wow. That's very, very powerful. And, with creating opportunities, I'm also a sales trainer. So I was training a gentleman this week, and he did an amazing job. And he listened to everything I said. And next thing you know, he's doing the exact amount that I was doing, but he listened, he watched me, he studied me in that short period of time. And I said, don't do that. He couldn't figure out why he wasn't doing any sales. And I said, I keep telling you, you need to listen to me. And he finally, the next day, he came back. Before you knew it, he got 3 sales in a row before I got anything. He said, I heard what you said. Stop asking all those questions. I said, yeah, you're throwing yourself away. But the biggest thing that I taught him is to create opportunities. You say you want to make this amount of money. Well, I can show you how to make that money, but you have to create the opportunities and do the work. We know that you can be a millionaire. We have many millionaires in the world. We know that you can be a billionaire because we have some. They did something. We have the same amount of time in the day. They don't have an extra 5 hours per day to achieve their goals. They're managing their time. They're using what they have. They're creating opportunities. They're reprogramming themselves. They're willing to learn. They're willing to change. Some people are just stuck on one road and they're not willing to detour or jump over a hurdle or swim a lap or run a country mile. They think that somebody's supposed to give it to them. And you're right, with Beautiful People Connect and Beautiful People Rise Up, you know, that was created during the pandemic. I always wanted a nonprofit organization and I'm always creating. I have different things that I've created over the years. But once I created the song Beautiful People, then I said, whoa, Beautiful People Rise. And I was like, that sounds good, but wait a minute, Beautiful People Rise Up. And I just went for it. And Yama joined me. She's awesome. And this is as much as her baby as it is mine. She's put a lot of effort and work into it. And I know that she's going to go far in her endeavors. And we're building this as a team. So yeah, creating opportunities, you know, that really hit home because I just taught that to somebody this week. I do have another question for you, Mike. Many people are trying to find success, and you have a book titled Passport to Creating a World of Success. Not just success, but a world of success. What is it about this book that you believe will transform their lives of people and help them to get on the road to success?
What I did is that I put it in the form of a passport because I wanted to make it very accessible to something they could just put in their pocket. But it's just winning thoughts that you could reprogram your mind to override the negative and common thing. So these are winning thoughts, winning affirmations in a consolidated small format, so that people can take it with them. You can put it in your coat pocket, you can put it in your purse, and you can have it with you because that passport is going to allow you to gain entry into a whole different world. You see, and once you begin to see things differently, and once you begin to think differently, then you're going to attract differently. Once you do that, then you're going to start to produce differently.
Wow.
That's why we wrote the books. And the third book we wrote, The Success Begins with an Action Journal, that's actually the one that we have in e-format. It's an ebook. And that one is a compilation of stories and quotes. You know, people like Fred DeLuca, who with $1,000 started a small sandwich shop. And with $1,000, I think he built a company called Subway. Have you ever heard of Subway? Yeah. He started with $1,000 and he built Subway. So we have stories, his stories, and the rag to riches stories. We have stories of people like Madam C.J. Walker, the first Black woman to become a millionaire. We have the quotes that many of the quotes that you've heard me say, they are in there. So that book, Success Begins Within Action Journal, it's an ebook. And during the pandemic, we had to create a ship because we weren't going to the post office mailing books. So we came up with the ebook and people have been buying that. So it's usually $19.95, but it's only, there we go. But it's only $10. If anybody want to get it today, it's only $10 and you can just cash out me at $Speaker Mike, $Speaker Mike. But please include your email address so I know where to send it. But it's an easy to read book. It's easy to read. The information is going to be something you have things you work through, because I believe that it's one thing to read it. It's another thing to do it, to have activities. See, growth is the ability, go back to, lesson 1, growth is the ability to do what is uncomfortable until it becomes comfortable. See, if you're not uncomfortable, ladies and gentlemen, you're not growing. If you've been on a job and you say, I can do my job with my eyes closed, you're not growing. You're just doing the same things over and over again. So I want you to step outside the box. I want you to learn something new. I want you to be engaged and embrace this thing called change. And when you do that, when you are the person that's on the leading edge of change, then you're going to attract more opportunities. You're going to begin to attract more opportunities into your life.
Wow. Success Begins Within Action Journal. Of course, ladies and gentlemen, I have my copy. That is it. I'm not going to show you too much. If you want to purchase this from Mr. Mike Howard, I think you should do it. It's worth it. And it's a guide, like he says, to activate your inner success. Your success starts within. You have to believe it. You have to perceive it. Then you can achieve it. And I went to Bookto High School in Akron, Ohio, and we had, our principal was Miss Sandra K. Stubbs, and she used to say that all the time. You and anyone that's a baby Griff is watching, that's inside. You only know that if you went to Bookto High School during that time. You know that you have to believe it. You have to perceive it. Then you will be able to achieve it. And so, ladies and gentlemen, if you have the opportunity, definitely get this ebook, Success Begins Within Action Journal, because it's about the action. You can say you're going to do something, or how people say, I'm fixing to, not getting ready to, but they say, I'm fixing to. I know y'all heard that. I'm fixing to do this, I'm fixing to do that,
Yes.
No, we don't know, because you've been saying you're fixing to do it. And I'm saying, I know getting ready to, I'm being funny. You've been saying you're fixing to do it for so many years. What year do you plan? I mean, are you reaching for 2025? You've been saying this since 2000. So when are you going to actually do it? And it is such a beautiful thing to do what you love to do. Mike, what advice would you give to someone who is working in a profession that they don't love? Because it is many people, and there are many people who are not working in their passion. They're not doing what they love to do. So they're not even performing at their highest peak. They're just living in mediocrity because they're doing what they don't want to do. What advice can you give to them before we close out?
Yes, very simple. Get a vision of where you want to go and look at where you are as a bridge to take you where you want to go. See, that's all. It's just a bridge. And when you show up every day, you may be on MARTA, you may be driving, you may be on public transportation. But although you're physically on public transportation, you got a vision of you in the Mercedes, okay?
Come on.
Chris Rock, one of the greatest comedians, he said something. Chris Rock said years ago, before he became a comedian, he was working at Red Lobster, cleaning shrimp. That's what he was doing. He was cleaning shrimp. He said that's no career path, but he had a vision. Okay, he was cleaning shrimp. And I was cleaning shrimp. That ain't no career. What you like, clean shrimp at Red Lobster? But he had a vision. Okay, doesn't matter where you are right now. You get a vision, and you realize you use that job to take you where you want to go. It's a bridge. It's not your final destination. So now, when you show up every day, you show up with the right attitude. You show up giving 110%. You show up doing more than is expected. You say, why do you do that, Mike? Because you want to get in the habit of doing that. Because if you can become a great follower, you will be a great leader. But you got to force yourself. You got to get uncomfortable. You got to learn to work with the difficult people. Yeah. Why do you say that, Mike? Because if you're going to live your dreams one day, it's going to be some difficult people you're going to have to deal with. So learn how to deal with them now. Learn how to be the light in the midst of that job that you don't like. See, I've been on jobs where I didn't like it. Okay, but they didn't know it. I remember my last job, right before I went to leave to become a speaker with and go full time. I left IBM, and it was with Norfolk Southern, and I came in, and they were paying me more money than I ever made. I think they were paying me like $50 an hour. And as I got the first check, I looked at it. I mean, they paid by the month. I said, man, this is good, but I gotta go. I went in that next morning. I told the guy, I said, look, I want to thank you for this opportunity, but I gotta go and pursue my dreams. And he was disappointed because it was another guy there, and they had told him, goodbye, we don't need you. We're gonna go with Mike Howard. See, they didn't know. They didn't know that I was like, I'm out of here. They didn't know that I didn't like this because I was still giving 110%. I was coming in early. I was leaving late. They never would have known. They said, look, we want you. Please reconsider. But I said, thank you. I got to go and pursue my dreams as a speaker. Because when I speak to the world, I can tell them that my Mondays are magnificent and my Tuesdays are my Wednesdays are wonderful and my Thursdays are perfect. My Fridays are fabulous and my Saturdays are and my Sundays are spiritual. That's my story tonight, y'all. And I'm sticking to it.
Oh, I love it. I love it. Thank you for coming by. Yama wanted to ask you one more question.
Yes. How can our audience connect with you and follow you?
Yes. Oh, very good question. My website, MikeHowardSpeaks.org, MikeHowardSpeaks.org. And I'm on Instagram, Speaker MBH, Instagram, Speaker MBH. Hey, definitely connect with me on there. You know, we put out motivational things all the time. So just connect me there. Check out my website. I'm on LinkedIn, Mike Howard, Facebook, Mike Howard, public figure. But Instagram is probably one that you're going to enjoy the most because I put all these little motivational little videos, slideshows together to keep you motivated. So come on and, you know, let's connect on Instagram. Let's keep each other motivated. And come on Monday nights. It's only 15 minutes of your time. Just come on, let's hang out a little bit, you know, because our input will determine our output.
Yes, yes. Well, thank you so much, Cameron and Mike Howard, for joining Beautiful People Connect. We got to give them a round of applause, Yama. I am so sure that our audience enjoyed you all. I definitely appreciate you all coming by, taking the time to share your experiences and how you got to where you are, you know, because you just don't arrive. There was a process, and you all have gone through this process, and that is why you are where you are. People watching, don't be afraid to get started. Just get started. Don't keep saying I'm gonna start tomorrow, next week, and waiting for the perfect moment. I've missed a lot of opportunity and time. Even though I've created a lot, I could have much more out because I was waiting for things to be perfect. And when I got over trying to make everything perfect, it just began to flow. And sometimes you may be more critical of yourself than the world watching. They may think it's great, and you're like, man, but I need to do this. And you're looking at things that don't even really matter. So my charge to everyone is to get started doing what you love to do. So one day you can speak to the world and say, I am loving what I'm doing. I am thriving in what I'm doing. I am happy in what I'm doing. That is a whole different energy. It shifts your whole life when you can be happy and excited about yourself, and you can be encouraged and motivated about yourself. People, it is okay to celebrate yourself. It is okay to love yourself. It is okay to invest in yourself. And most of all, it is okay to believe in yourself, even when no one else believes in you, when no one else is supporting you. Do you do what you are called to do, because God has you here for a reason in this season. And don't miss your opportunity to grow, to blossom and to bloom, and to help someone else to grow and blossom and bloom. Thank you so much for joining Beautiful People Connect. If you were inspired by this event, we invite you to like and follow us on social media at BP Rise Up, and that is on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. You can also subscribe to our YouTube channel, which is Beautiful People Rise Up, and also follow us on Eventbrite. If you're a person that goes on Eventbrite and look for events, we do post our events there, and that's Beautiful People Rise Up. And we also list our events on our website, www.beautifulpeopleriseup.org. And just in case you came in a little late, if you like what we're doing, if you enjoyed the show, feel free to go to our website, read about us. And if you feel like you want to make a donation, please feel free to do that. There is no amount, every amount that, let me say it again, there is no amount that's too small. Every amount helps us. And we are a nonprofit 501c3 organization. That means you can write this off on your taxes if you decide to give to us. So I'm going to turn it over to Yama. She wants to share with you some of our upcoming events. Yama.
Awesome. Thank you, Chastity. Our next event is our Salt and Light Bible Study, hosted by Chastity Wright and Dr. Sylvester T. Staten. It's going to be on Saturday, June 5th, 2021 at 9:30 a.m. to 10:30 a.m. Same place here on Facebook Live at BP Rise Up. We are proud to announce that we launched Beautiful People Coaching Services. You can sign up for a free consultation on our new website, www.beautifulpeopleriseup.org. We are here to provide a service that empowers you and or your team to go to the next level. We provide coaching services, workshops, and chaplain services. Go visit and communicate and get connected. That's what we do. Get connected. Connect with us. It's gonna be awesome. So I'm gonna turn it back over to Chastity to close us out. Thank you guys for being part of our awesome show tonight. Like, it was amazing for me. And I thank each and everyone, Cameron and Mike, for being part of it as well. It was awesome. Thank you guys. Chastity?
Yes, and thank you, Yama. For our viewers, you have heard me mention the name Beautiful People Rise Up. You heard me mention that it was inspired by my song, Beautiful People. Well, great news. It is now available on digital music platforms, including iTunes, Apple Music, Spotify, Google Play. You can go to Amazon and many other digital music streaming platforms to get the song. And I just wanted to let everyone know that some of the proceeds for purchasing the single, which is 99 cents by myself, Chastity, Beautiful People, will go to Beautiful People Rise Up, Inc. Let me say that again. Some of the proceeds from the purchase of the single, Beautiful People by myself, Chastity, will go to Beautiful People Rise Up, Inc. nonprofit organization. So ladies and gentlemen, we're going to conclude this evening. Thank you for attending our event. We hope that you connect and charge so we can light the world together. Most of all, stay beautiful. We look forward to connecting again with you on Beautiful People Connect. Have a beautiful day.